To mask or not to mask? That is the question put forth to the Scottsbluff City Council Monday night by Regional West top doctors and executives. KNEB.TV News starts right now.
From your trusted source for news in western Nebraska and eastern Wyoming, this is KNEB.TV News. Presented by Platte Valley Companies, premier provider of financial services.
Hello, I'm Ryan Murphy. This is KNEB.TV News, powered by Platte Valley Companies. Thanks for joining me. In our top story, just days after Regional West issued an open letter to community leaders imploring them to consider heightened measures to reduce the spread of the coronavirus, several key members addressed the Scottsbluff City Council on Monday night. President and CEO John Mentken says Regional West sponsors 8 critical access hospitals through the region.
We are very concerned for our community. In the current surge of COVID-19 continues at the rate that it's happening right now, we may have many more healthcare staff ill, exposed, quarantined, and unable to provide services.
Chief Medical Officer Matthew Bruner says doctors have learned a lot about the virus this year, and plain and simple, masks work on reducing the spread.
I'll tell you, in March, shutting down was out of fear. Now, 8 months later, this isn't born out of fear. This is born out of science and the different papers that have come. And the different materials for masking make a difference. In the general public, wearing a fabric mask with 2 layers or more is protective. In the medical setting, even these masks aren't quite enough. We actually use more of a surgical mask in the setting of COVID.
Dr. Jeff Holloway says that a mask mandate in Scottsbluff and other neighboring cities could help significantly.
I am a believer in masks. Like Matt said, it's not everything, but it's one thing we can do. And that's what we're asking you as a council to mandate that, not indefinitely. Pick a time frame for the next couple of months. Let's get through this surge, and let's keep as many people upright as we can. Because when we're losing people at the hospital, these are the people that are going to be taking care of you and your friends and your family members. And so we need to do everything we can reasonably to keep this thing going.
However, some council members like Scott Shaver and Terry Schaub believe that a mask mandate violates individuals' rights and freedoms.
I am a freedom of choice, and I will always be a freedom of choice. I am not going to sit and tell you or any individual in this room that you've got to stay home, you've got to wear a mask, you can't touch anything.
I was with you until about 4 weeks ago when I saw what was happening around me. Wearing a mask, I don't like it, but it's easy, I can do it, and I know that it can stop the spread, so we don't all get sick so fast all at once. This will flatten the curve, it will spread it out down the road, so when we ultimately get through this, we can do it in a way that it doesn't overwhelm our healthcare system in the next month or so.
We all know that COVID's here. It's taken its toll on our community and medically and soon here economically. And the question before this council was, should we implement a mask mandate? Legally, can we do it? Is the first question. Secondly, how would we enforce it if we choose to implement it? And then thirdly, we will need to get buy-in from the surrounding communities, Mitchell, Baird, Morrill. So, if we were to do it, you're going to have to give us a little bit of time to reach and get that unified approach that Mr. Trumbull was talking about and mobilize quickly to do it.
In order to issue a mandate, a City of Scottsbluff Board of Health would need to be created.
In fact, there's a statute, 16238. Just first sentence says a city of the first class may make regulations to prevent the introduction and spread of contagious, infectious, or malignant diseases into the city. It then goes forward to tell you to create a 5-person committee, and then you have the authority to act as the council. That committee does to do mandates or whatever you want to do.
Deputy City Attorney John Selzer says the Health Board Committee would be required to consist of a medical advisor, the mayor, the chief of police, and 2 other members, but creating said board would require an ordinance from the City Council.
Does the council support moving this forward to direct staff to, and legal to draft this ordinance?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
No.
Well, I'm not asking for a vote, I'm just saying, is there support for it?
There will be next week, but not this, or next meeting, but not this one.
Unfortunately, the way this item is worded on this agenda, we can only discuss and receive your report. So we will continue to discuss this. I may call a special meeting of council to continue to address this and try to get something going here quickly. In the interim, we will reach out to our neighboring communities and get their input and start a coordination of this. I appreciate all of you coming this evening. I know it's pretty stressful for you, but I don't think the city of Scottsbluff needs to take some action here.
Well, Unified Command announcing 551 new COVID cases throughout the Panhandle during their Monday afternoon briefing. Those new cases include 341 in Scottsbluff County, 94 in Cheyenne County, 35 in Box Butte, 27 in Morrill County, 17 in Dawes County, 15 in Sheridan County, 14 in Kimball, 2 in both Garden and Grant counties, and 2 unknown at this point. Through Monday evening, the Panhandle has had 4,644 total cases, 2,448 recoveries, 24 confirmed deaths, leaving 2,172 active cases. Those include 1,567 in Scottsbluff County, 173 in Cheyenne County, 111 in Box Butte County, 87 in Morrill County, 78 in Dawes, 61 in Sheridan, 58 in Kimball County, 18 in Garden County, 6 in Dual, 4 in Grant County, and 2 in both Banner and Sioux counties. And as of midday, PPHD reporting 84 active COVID hospitalizations, 32% of all hospital beds available, and 21% of all ICU beds available. Additionally, the COVID risk dial moved further into the red.
We did creep up into the severe, so we're about halfway through the severe. And we did take a look at how our dial is calculated as a state and really just looked at what indicators we were using to make sure we're using the most up-to-date and the right indicators as we move through the pandemic. And we did remove a couple indicators. We moved from 8 risk factors to 6. We've removed overall positivity rate and the ventilator availability. This is to align with those other local health departments across the state as we learn more about COVID. There's treatments better, so ventilators are less needed, and weekly positivity rate is better indicator than overall positivity rate. So that's why we did those pieces.
Health officials remind people to keep practicing habits, including social distancing, avoiding the 3 C's, and wear a mask whenever possible out in public. Well, coming up after the break, Bill Boyer may tell us if this unseasonably warm weather will continue. His Tuesday evening forecast right after this on KNEB.TV News.
At Platte Valley Bank, we offer loans with competitive rates and quick decisions from our experienced lenders. Our team works hard to get to know you and your business. From ag to auto, home loans, and everything in between, we're here to help. Stop by Platte Valley Bank or apply online to find the loan that is right for you today.
New season and new fashion is in at Compliments for you and your home. Check out what's new from Tribal and Charlie B. From light layers for warm days and cool nights to reversibles that are a must-have for the season. Compliments has the style for you. With great looks come great deals. Compliments always has weekly deals to bring more style into your life. Get ahead of the trends and get the new shapes, shades, and colors this season at Compliments for you and your home. 1708 Broadway, downtown Scottsbluff.
This is KNEB.TV weather from the KNEB Storm Center, your trusted source.
Another very
weather.
quiet night here across the high plains. Clear skies out there. Lows dipping into the 30s is all overnight. Look at by 9 o'clock, we'll be up to 50 degrees tomorrow. It is going to be a very nice day tomorrow before some winds kick in and a little cooler Thursday. This weekend will be colder with some rain and snow possible. We hit 62 yesterday. for a high after a morning low of 32 degrees. Nothing in the rain gauge, about where we should be for the month and still in deep, deep hole for the year. Well, we still have high wind warnings that are out for tomorrow now and on into Thursday, posted for mainly the wind-prone areas of southeastern Wyoming. As we slide over here, we can see areas on that I-80 corridor around Laramie, off to the west of Cheyenne, Centennial. That vicinity is where we expect the highest winds to be for tomorrow. Across the region right now, we have temps that are quiet, conditions that are quiet, rather, and temps that are very mild in the upper 50s, even a couple of low 60s sneaking in there. Mid and upper 50s will be good enough for most of us, though, and winds are fairly light, under 10 miles an hour, a picture-perfect day out there. Nothing to worry about in the wind chill department, as temps are quite mild. Bus stop forecast tomorrow on the way out the door. Partly cloudy skies. It looks like we'll be in the mid-30s, and then look at that, heading home at 71 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Futurecast for tonight is clear, quiet, nothing doing out there on the high plains. Temperatures overnight are going to fall down into the 30s is all. As you can see, 36 in Torrington, Scottsbluff, 28 in Ogallala, but 47 tonight in Lusk and in Wheatland. Back to the Futurecast then for tomorrow. We'll put this in motion and we'll see just a few clouds to start the day, and then more clouds as we roll through the afternoon hours. Will be partly cloudy at times. A few clouds roll in tomorrow night. Along that frontal system, you can see a little bit of rain showers try to form. We could see a few sprinkles out here across the region late tomorrow night, but otherwise temps going well into the 70s. Oshkosh and Ogallala tomorrow flirting with 80 degrees. And precip is light, not much out there. A couple of hundreds trying to sneak out from this system, but it's going to be pretty light here across the region, and certainly nothing in the way of snowfall. Abundant stars, that's what we've got coming tonight. 36 tonight for a low. For tomorrow, it's going to be partly cloudy when we average the whole day out. Very mild, though. 73 degrees, light winds at 10 to 15, our 7-day forecast. We bring in those rain and snow chances Friday and Saturday after a windy day on Thursday. Temps fall back into the 40s all the way through the weekend. We get back into the low 50s for next week and bring more winds back into the forecast as we inch closer to Thanksgiving.
At 21st Century Equipment, we're proud to introduce the new Build Your Own tool. Build the John Deere you've been wanting and see how affordable it really is. Visit 21stcenturyequipment.net to build your own compact utility tractor, mower, or gator. It's easy to add implements, attachments, and view financing options. Build the exact tractor for your needs at a price you can afford, all from the comfort and safety of home, with the new Build Your Own tool at 21stcenturyequipment.net.
Our Black Friday sale is back at Renewal by Anderson of Wyoming for 15 days only. Receive 20% off every replacement window with 0 down, 0 interest, and 0 payments for 18 months. So keep your cash and spend ours. Purchase 3 windows and get a $500 Visa card. Purchase 4 to 7 windows and get an $800 Visa card. Or get a $1,500 Visa card when you purchase 8 to 12 windows. Hurry, this offer is only available from November 27th through December 11th. Merry Christmas to you from Renewal by Anderson of Wyoming. Call 307-215-7493.
Come in and see the many toys at TC and More. Toys for every age can be found at TC and More, 1621 Broadway, Scottsbluff.
Welcome back. Governor Pete Ricketts is standing firm in his opposition to a statewide mask mandate despite a recent surge in coronavirus cases that threatens to overwhelm Nebraska's hospitals. Ricketts urged residents to voluntarily wear a mask, saying it's one step of many to slow the pandemic.
What I was saying was that mask wearing was increasing. Now, again, we've got more work to do, but I saw as I traveled around the state, people were adopting the use of masks. So I think it just gets back to continuing to do the education process. And remember that it does take time to get that message out, and we can all be a part of making that message out there, The
Republican governor has focused heavily on getting voluntary compliance from residents, with campaigns urging people to avoid crowds, wash their hands frequently, and stay at home if they feel sick or show symptoms of the virus. Ricketts has also refused to let local public health districts impose their own restrictions within their areas because the virus is spreading statewide. Well, the search for Scottsbluff's new city manager is getting closer to the finish line, and by the end of this week, several finalists will likely be considered. Interim city manager Rick Kukan says a total of 5 semi-finalists have been selected, and interviews with them will be conducted this week.
Wednesday and Thursday they'll be interviewing via Zoom the semifinalists, and then from that group, it appears that we'll be selecting a certain number from that 5 and bringing them here to the community to be face-to-face interviews.
Kukan says the council is being very deliberate about this process and says the semi-finalists are from all over the country. And a 25-year-old Scottsbluff man who has been arrested after allegedly selling methamphetamine to a CI working for the Wing Drug Task Force earlier this year. A warrant for Carlos Trejo was served last week on charges including distribution of an exceptionally hazardous substance and distribution of a controlled substance near a school zone. When he was arrested, authorities also found prescription pills and other drug paraphernalia and was charged separately for those items. He is scheduled to be back in court on Thursday for his preliminary hearing on the initial meth charges. Well, coming up after the break, Chabella Guzman in with a check-in on Ag News. She'll have that right after this on KNEB.TV News.
This chair is way too big. It's perfect for us. This one's tiny. That's 'cause it's mine. Hey, this chair is just right. This bed is way too hard. It's perfect for me. This bed is way too soft. Just what I needed. This bed is just right. So come on over to Leaves Heads.
Home buying is filled with decisions. Neighborhood, floor plan, fenced yard. Make one choice that's easy. Start with FNBO first. We'll guide you home. Home buying is filled with decisions. Square feet, fixer-upper, room to grow. Make one choice that's easy. Start with FNBO first. We'll guide you home.
This is KNEB.TV Ag News from the FNBO Ag Desk. FNBO, the great big small bank.
Agriculture will be adjusting to some new leadership roles in the next few months. Kendall Bush, president of the Nebraska Sugar Beet Growers Association and a grower, says the biggest hit for their industry came with Colin Peterson losing his Senate seat.
That definitely was probably the biggest blow out of this whole election, as far as sugar policy is involved in that. So our friends up in Minnesota, the growers up there, will have to get to the new lady that took his seat. One bright light maybe be that Mr. Peterson might be considered for our new U.S. Ag Secretary. And then also Heidi Heitkamp out of North Dakota has been mentioned for that seat too. She was a former senator from up there. So big thing right now, we need to get back to D.C. and start working towards the next farm bill, as far as how important sugar policy is to people here in western Nebraska, our growers.
Another hit for the sugar associations is the fact that usually they visit D.C. in late February or early March. But COVID-19 has canceled the visit, which could be tough for ag associations.
Normally we go out to D.C. and kind of check in with the, new staffers and representatives and that stuff. But with COVID right now, it's hard to say when we'll get back out there. So we do have some Zoom meetings lined up with some of the representatives out there and that, but it's just not the same effect when you can sit across the table from them and speak to them face to face.
Peterson has made a recommendation for his successor and endorsed Georgia Democrat David Scott as the next House Ag Committee chair.
Small business, you're the engine that makes our communities thrive. That's why we're with you, providing more for you, so you can focus on what matters most. Small business, you're the engine that makes our communities thrive. That's why we're with you, providing more for you, so you can earn more, save more, and do more.
The Verizon family is full of frowns because they're spending too much for their unlimited data and phones, while the Viero family is all smiles because they're getting 4 lines of unlimited data with 2 free Apple iPhone SE for mom and dad and 2 free LG K31 smartphones for the kids, all for just $100 a month. They're saving so much, they're able to get Fido. Find out how you can too at Viero.com or your nearest Viero store. Viero Wireless, keeping you connected.
When it comes to helping local folks with the loans and financial advice they need, we don't horse around. Our only goal is to help you and your family achieve your financial goals with the right loans and savings products. So if you want to bank with people that care about you and your financial needs, stop by or give us a call. First State Bank. We're big on you. Member FDIC. Online at fsbcentral.com.
Well, let's take a look what's happening on today's community calendar. That's a look at today's community calendar, brought to you by First State Bank, honoring those who give back. Nominate your community champion at fsbcentral.com.
At Elite Physical Therapy, we provide preventative and rehabilitative treatments that maximize function and promote well-being for patients of all ages. With 2 locations in Scottsbluff and Gering, we offer the convenience of you choosing your location with the same great services no matter where you go. Stop into one of our locations today, in Scottsbluff at 214 West 27th Street or in Gering at 10th and M Street, and see what Elite Physical Therapy can do for you. Treatment you need and care you deserve.
At Platte Valley Investment Center, we believe in personalized planning for your financial goals.
As your retirement income partners, our concern for your success combined with resources from Raymond James can help you make confident decisions for your financial future.
Our team of financial advisors will help you make your money work just as hard as you did to earn it. After all, our goal is to help you reach your financial goals.
Call me, Jody Rosiska, or Kevin Fig, Financial Advisors, to set up your free, no obligation pre-retirement review.